This is the Besotted Pride of West London podcast, coming to you live and direct from the G-Tech Community Stadium in Brentford. It finishes Brentford 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2, exactly the way that the last season ended. It was an entertaining game. All the goals came in the first half, but the second half was more edgy. I think that both sets of players decided that there was quite a lot at stake. What did you make of the first game?
Yeah, it was a good game. Entertaining. First half was good. A couple of soft goals I think that we let in, but we looked a good team again. You know, there's three centre backs who haven't played together before. You could see that was a little bit rusty. All playing with the goalie for the first time as well, but he was immaculate. Fleck in the second half. Have to see the second goal maybe, but his distribution and his catching and he's dominating the area. He was good. Going forward, we look good. Couple of chances. Shard needs one to bounce off his arse and go in and get him up and running. But we're a good team. We're a good squad, and it bodes well for the season, I think, Dave.
First game of the season, I guess you always want something on the board. You either want to win or if you don't win, you don't want to lose. You want to get points on the board, and that's where we were at last year up at Leicester. We were chasing the game then. We were never chasing the game against Tottenham today. If anything, I thought we had the beating of them first half because we were creating a lot of chances. Their goalkeeper looked dodgy, and we were creating lots and lots of chances. But would you, if someone said to you before the game, you take a point, would you have taken that?
I think before the game, probably, yeah. You don't want to lose that first one. Me missing at the back was obviously a surprise, and you could see that, as I said earlier, the three didn't quite know what each other was doing sometime. But you take a point. I think first game, Spurs are, they got some great players. Whatever's happening at Spurs, Richarlison's hardly a junior sub coming on, is he? And for Kane and Son, they're good player. Madison's a horrible little shit. Boo. But he's quite good. He's annoying. How he doesn't get 2 yellows in a game, I don't know. But there's going to be easier teams to play than Spurs.
So we kick off the season. We get a point on the board. It's not a win that we probably would have all hoped for. But would you have accepted that at the end of 90 odd minutes, or would you have accepted that before the game kicked off? Where's your head at after the first game's finished?
Well, I'm glad we kept up our record on not losing on our first game in our Premier League season, so that's a positive. We got an extra 20 minutes of football for the money that we paid. My head's all right with it. There is obviously clear improvement. First time that I've seen the team this season. I didn't see much of the pre-season for various reasons. I'm really happy with the goalkeeper. Clear replacement for David Rare. No worries on that score. We missed Ben Mee today. We did miss Ben Mee. They were coming through the centre too much. Their two goals, I think, were caused by Ayer and Pinnock not really knowing quite what they were up to and doing. I'm okay with it. We've watched some decent football on a nice afternoon, and we've got Fulham next week. Onward and upward. That's all we can do.
So you would have taken a point before?
Yeah, I think I probably would, actually, because I think Tottenham are a different team this season to what they were last. I think they'll be much better. Their manager is a good manager. They're evolving as well. But I think, they won't be one of our rivals come the end of the season.
So, Harry Kane-less Tottenham played Ivan Toney-less Brentford. It ended 2-2. We got a point on the board. It's very similar to the situation up at Leicester last season. Is it all about just getting off unbeaten, or did you expect a little bit more today? Where's your head at?
I think before the game I would have happily accepted a 2-2, and I think it's not just Leicester last season and a 2-2, but it's always Maddison, isn't it? We're going to play Maddison first game this season forever now. But I thought it was a decent performance. It's quite an interesting back three because we had Ayer playing on the left, which is quite interesting because I think we wanted to play Pinnock in the middle. So we're playing a right footer on the left, which is a bit odd. And when Zanka came on and replaced him, we did the same. So that was quite interesting. I think it's because we trust Pinnock more. But I think it was just a decent setup. The front two looked decent. But I think their second goal was more of a matter of just letting them play across our 18-yard box too often, and they just whacked it in.
So the players are just coming round now. it's no free from desire today, but the players are doing their usual lap of, not of honour, but of respect. The players are clapping us, we're clapping them. There was some big plus points today. Flecken being one of them, probably.
Flecken pulled off 2 very good saves and some great distribution out to Rico a couple of times. Really, really good distribution. Some of the shorter passing is a bit scary because I'm not sure whether our defenders are actually that au fait with what the hell's happening there. But his long passing is superb. 2 really good saves, as I said. But I thought Collins did very well. I thought Hickey looked very good. Quite sure. I think they're the Kululeshvili, or whatever his name is, their number 21. He looked very good, and he did some good stuff against Rico, who is normally absolutely superb. And Rico going forward was great, but he got past him a few times, possibly coming inside rather than going outside. But I think good performances throughout. 2-2, fair result in the end, I think.
Yeah, 2-2 probably was a fair result.
Yeah.
First game of the new season, you're looking for lots of things. You're looking for, obviously, positives. You're looking to hopefully win. You're hopefully not going to lose. We didn't lose today. We got a point. What was the pluses and the negatives, if there were any, of today for you?
Pluses were, I think, if anyone had any questions about the goalkeeper, Flecken, I think they should be resolved now, because he made a couple of key saves. Made one with his feet to Son, one a bit later from a header. Nothing flashy, but he was in the right place, positioned himself well, and his distribution was excellent. Negatives were, I think, sometimes we invited Tottenham onto us by very, very short goal kicks and letting them come at us, then giving the ball away. But overall, the positives by far outweigh the negatives.
From my point of view, it's about getting at least a point on the board, proving to yourselves once again that you're not fodder. We looked a very good team again. We caused Tottenham a lot of problems.
Yeah, and even though I don't want to contradict myself, we invited them onto us, but I don't think that they really, really looked like scoring, unlike the threat we had when we pushed forward. Every time we pushed the ball up, we ran at them. Rico created a lot of problems. I thought every time there was a sniff of a goal, whereas they were passing it side to side across the goal more than penetrating through the lines as we were.
We started the season off with Wisa playing that number 9 role. A lot of us thought Sharda would do that. We didn't see Sharda today, but Wisa starts and he scores. How did you think the Brentford setup worked today against Tottenham are going to be a decent team. Without Harry Kane, they're obviously not going to be where they were, but they're certainly not going to be in the relegation mire. What did you think of the game?
Yeah, I was pretty happy. I was expecting us to go with a 4-3-3, went with a 5 at the back instead, but I felt like both of the wing backs were really good today, especially Hickey. Going forward is, I think, one of the best games I've seen him go in. Rico exceeded his usually excellent standards. Otherwise, I felt like we played pretty well. I think Flecken, his distribution was amazing today. A bit shaky the first half at the back, especially with the short passes. That's where we invited a lot of pressure onto ourselves and conceded the 2 goals. But overall, can't complain too much, really.
When we saw the new rules come into play today, the referee wasn't taking any shit, as they say, and he was given a lot of yellow cards quite early, but then didn't back it up. So he'd give an early yellow card, but then there'll be another yellow card situation later on, but wouldn't send him off. So what's the point of the easy yellow when you're not going to give the actual yellow later on? And the other thing was the added time. So we had 2 VARs in the first half. There was an injury time, but we had 11 minutes in the first half, 4 minutes in the second half. You could argue that it seemed slightly excessive in the first and not quite enough in the second. We as fans, we always want value for money, and seeing the ball in play is important, and not seeing players taking the piss and time wasting and shithousery. But Maddison got, for example, I mean, we pick on him because we hate him, but Maddison got a yellow card in the first half. He was still in the ref's ear. He's still whinging. He's still doing his own thing. But the referee is giving him his punishment, but he's not sort of continued it through. Is there like hypocrisy? Is there double standards going on?
Yeah, well, I think the first point of the second yellows, I don't really think that's a new problem. I've noticed it before. They always bottle the second yellow. They're quick to take it out the first time round, but then unless it's a real stonewall decision the second time, they usually bottle it. I think with the extra time, the added time, I don't think it was. I do agree it was a bit excessive in the first half, but I do also think it was quite an eventful first half. There's a clash of heads that delayed things a little bit. 2 VAR checks. I can't complain too much about it, really. I think it was fair. I think there needs to be something done about the amount of time wasting going on, and hopefully, I suppose, in theory, it will decrease in time as people realise there's less of a point to time wasting when it's all getting added on, and hopefully people will hurry up, essentially. But yeah,
talking of hurrying up, because we had that standoff, so it was clear that Jensen got fouled for the Brentford penalty, and everyone on the pitch seemed to know it was a penalty. Everyone seemed to know in the terraces and in the seats that it was a penalty. And the referee he knew it was a penalty, but wanted VAR to make that decision for him. So we had this kind of like a ghost 2 minutes where the players were almost like passing it around, waiting for the ball to go out. No one really wanted to put it out. And then as soon as the ball did go out, then we got what we knew was going to happen. He went and reviewed it. He looked at the monitor and then he pointed to the spot. And then Bryan Mbeumo stepped up 1-1. Is that what we're going to expect to see, where referees just won't give what's clear with their own eyes because they don't want to be making the wrong decisions?
Yeah, I mean, you're completely spot on. As soon as that foul was made, they held possession. Spurs held possession, and then as soon as we got the ball back, it was Jensen who got it back, and he just immediately booted it back out because he knew it's an obvious penalty. I think it's just something that is inevitably going to happen with VAR, and I think it is a bit of an issue with the system that referees can become a bit overly reliant on it, when I think it should ultimately be not a last resort, but you shouldn't be thinking, we'll wait to make a decision. But like I said, I think that's just going to be something that's still a bit of teething pains with it that are still going to take a while to iron out.
Right, talking about ironing out, I'm going to iron right out of this stadium, and I'm going to go to the pub, and we'll have a couple more conversations back in there. So we're back in the Globe. We're kind of chewing the fat, watching the Chelsea-Liverpool game afterwards. Football is back. What did you make of today?
Absolute bitter pill to swallow, not getting a clean sheet and winning against one of the aristocracy on our first home game, which we normally do in the Premier League. So,
we've done that once.
First home game was Man United last year.
This is true, we've done that twice.
Yeah, there we go. I believe we had a 100% record until today. No, great. I mean, look, golden shoes are too tight. Absolutely lovely. I thought we maybe punched ourselves out a little bit in the first half. Sat a little bit too deep with 57 minutes, in the first half. We were setting up almost like there was a minute left when there was actually 10 minutes left. And weird thing with Spurs is, I thought they're really good in midfield, and they move the ball really quickly. So, but whenever we got the ball in our defence and our attack, we were all over them.
It's a really good point. How teams cope with the 11 minutes injury time or added time, whatever you want to call it, is really difficult, because like if you're kind of defending the lead, or you've just taken the lead, you approach that number with a different mindset as if you're losing. So it's almost like you've got nothing to lose. It's a weird one. There felt something inevitable, that something was going to happen when 11 went up. I thought we were comfortable at 2-1. Thought we deserved it at 2-1. But then going in 2-2, I wasn't actually that surprised.
Yeah, I mean, look, we had a set piece. The ball fell kindly for Tottenham. They got the ball out of the box. Where we might have had a 3-1. Yeah, we could have had a good go at 3-1. Probably the first game I've ever seen where the injury time in the first half was triple the injury time at the second half. And you're right, yeah, we just need the game management. Fair play. I mean, Collins and I, Collins coming in, Aya coming back. He's got Hickey injured. I mean, I think Frank's played a blinder lying through his teeth all week about the amount of injuries we've got in the squad. and it just sort of showed a little bit. And we tired, and we definitely, after we went 2-1 up, we dropped back about 20 yards. And yeah, it's great, you know, when you got the outlets. But I just think today we were playing the outlets out, but it's like Rico. There's only so many Hail Mary balls you can play to Rico, and they all work, but not because the ball's amazing, because Rico's run is amazing. He's running inside or outside, but he's not a front. He's not an attacker, you know. So yeah, I think we should have changed it slightly earlier, and I really think Spurs really didn't like the ball at their feet in the back four. That keeper didn't like it. Wisa was like harrying them.
So I mean, Flecken versus their new keeper. Flecken's come out with much more confidence, surely.
He has, and you know me, I'm a long-time Flecken fan. Weeks of cursing him in America, and yeah, he has a great save second half from Son. I think it was at the back post, caught everything. You know, there wasn't panics. There was a few sort of edgy triangles played about amongst the defence, but to be honest, I think that was just more
us being edgy rather than them.
Exactly. Oh, totally. Yeah. I think Flecken. I mean, on paper, not a great day for either keeper, conceding 2 goals. But you know, their keeper really should have had 3. You know, we got miss of the season out the way early. Fair play. You know, Bryan probably won't miss again like that all season.
As I've got my glass is more than half full, so I shall stay with glass half full head on. There was some positives there. You know, Brentford without Ivan Toney, Tottenham without Harry Kane. Doesn't look like either of them are going to struggle this season. It looks like we're both in for a couple of like comfortable Premiership seasons. You know, we can build on this today. I think we'll see more of Shada. But we started with Wisa. He started with a goal. You were happy with that?
Yeah, I mean, he pops up, doesn't he? He's a minutes man. I don't think he's got 90 minutes. But obviously, and he doesn't, you know. But like, he's good. He's a big game player. He steps up. Yeah, we were laughing as well because there's a lad over from Colombia, Filippo, and he's a B. His first Brentford game, and we were with some Spurs fans in the pub earlier, and everyone said, "Who's the key men for both teams?" And we were all joked, Kane and Toney. And it's like and actually it freed the game up. You know, like you said, I think Shard. It's going to be interesting who goes in the middle. You know, we've got this combination. We've got this kind of, KLP actually gets a run, gets his fitness up. We've got an almost embarrassment of riches in the first 5. So it's who starts, who comes to end the game, you know. And obviously that'll take about a month for us to bed in. But very happy with everyone. I'm hearing Shard did have a decent shout for a penalty. Although, to be honest, I mean, Jensen's penalty happened in front of us, and on the replay, it looked like a sniper had shot him from the stands.
No way. No, I couldn't disagree more. That was I said on there earlier that everyone on the pitch knew it was a pen. We were just waiting who was going to put the ball out before they could review it.
I would be raging if that went the other way. And Joel, they had one in the second half where it nearly did. The guy didn't go down, and he could have. So you know, it just shows what Thomas Frank says: small margins. The small margins.
100%. Yeah, so you know, but. We are in our 3rd season at this level, and I'm just not seeing any signs of anything to be concerned about. Of course, we can obviously always be looking to improve, always looking to get better, stronger, pushing for doing a Brighton, signs of us doing the Brighton, pushing for that real top 6. We're not a million miles away. You put Ivan Toney in that team today. We're more complete. The way we do our business is always going to be slightly, dubious compared to a Liverpool or a Chelsea that literally go out and buy the best. We're obviously looking for a bit of value, but is it any worries at all for you this season?
Joe, you maybe just get someone in on loan who's a proper fox in the box, who's a bit of a proven. No, I just, like you said, it's just time, to be honest. It's Collins, talent's there, bedding. It's another year on me's knees. He's 33, 34, Zanka. Look, you know me, I'm a pessimist. I'd rather under-promise and over-deliver. I think that's Cliff Crown's quote from before he kicked off in the pub in Philadelphia. I'm really pleased. And like you said, so Tottenham will be thinking, we should be a top 4, 5, 6 team. And today they've gone toe to toe with a team that is their equal, absolute equal. There was no department we were out of our depth.
100%, and I'll take that all day long. You know, it's not short and sweet. We've had a really good chinwag post match today. We regroup. We take a point against Tottenham, which is never a bad point. We go to Craven Cottage next Saturday which is one of the most heated West London derbies you'll ever want. They won away yesterday at Everton. It's a hard one to work out whether that's a good or bad, because Everton are going to have another shocking season, I think. But we got to make revenge about the game out in Philadelphia where they beat us 3-2. So Brentford will be going in numbers. It's always a good day out at Craven Cottage. The sun will be shining, I hope. We will have a podcast this week. We will talk with Fulhamish. Sammy hopefully will be on, and we'll chew the fat over this Sunday, and then obviously next Saturday. The games are going to come thick and fast a bit. We've got Newport County away in the League Cup. A lot of us are going to go there. We're going to have a big Tuesday night out in Newport. You got to take them. You can either turn your back on the League Cup and go, it's a load of nonsense, or it's a new ground. We're going to go and we'll have a lot of fun. So we'll take a point. Season's back. Brentford are back. All that's left for me to say is, come on, you bees! Come on, you bees!